Cool. So I'm going to show you guys what to do. Who wants to know what industries I would want to call if I'm cold calling? Would you want to know that? That's something that you think might be a good idea for you? Great. I'll just show you what I do. So I'm going to give you guys a little background, and not to bore you, but because we made a lot of money doing it, I'm like, shit, you're here to learn how to make money. I'm going to show you how, right? So we had a call center, okay? Can you do me a favor and go, let's go GoPro real quick. The room that I'm standing in, what room did it used to be for all of you guys who are watching the Marketer's Mindset meetings every single week? The sales room, call center, yeah. So we had this call center filled up with about 15 people. And you can see on your left side of the screen, there's already one cubicle that's kind of sliding out where Carlos is. Carlos is manning the computer right there. So this used to be our cold calling center. Our call center. And what we used to do is we used to do basically what I'm about to show you guys, but we like 10x'd it, right? We would do this, and we had 15 people in here doing cold calls and doing this exact same thing that we're doing right here. We would just do it times 15 people. So we did that, and we did that for about, I think it was like 2.5, 3 years, till we got to the point where most of our leads now are now inbound, which is a dream for any agency owner. So I'm going to get back, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Let's go P&P real quick. So let's talk about some industries. All right, guys, why don't you guys help me out here? What industries do you think would be good if I decided to right now cold call somebody and get them on the phone? What industry would you be good for that person to have their cell phone in their pocket? Their cell phone's right in their pocket. What industry would that be? What industry would that be? Roofing, HVAC, home services, plumber, realtor, pool guy, junk removal. Let's write some of these down. Realtor is definitely one. Okay. What else do people say? Plumber is definitely one. What else we got? Pool guy. So let's say pool. Let's say maintenance, right? What else we got? Pest control, electrician. Electrician. My handwriting sucks, so bear with me, guys. I'm a computer guy, not a novelist or a book writer, whatever you call it. Mortgage lenders, maybe, but mortgage lenders also at the same time, Walter, most of the time have receptionists. I want to look for guys who really don't have receptionists or gatekeepers, right? Locksmith, Alan said. Now, some of these companies do have receptionists, the larger ones, but a majority of these companies are also smaller, family mom and pop shops. So when you call and you're like, hey, your website sucks, who can I speak to about it? You're already speaking to the person that you need to speak with. You can completely cut that out, right? Restaurants wouldn't be a good one because the owner chances is not going to probably answer the phone. It's going to be one of the waiters or waitresses or managers or whatever the case may be. Painter, Susan said. Good. What else can you guys think of? Roofer. What else? What else can you guys think of? Tattoo shop, Drewby said. Tattoo shop might be a good one. Problem is there might be, I like to do, and I'll just get straight to the point here. Flooring contractors, mold remediation, tree service. So the industries that when I like, or when we were doing cold calling, when you think about it and you have, 10 or 15 people in the room, and they're all just dialing out people, right? And you're talking about making hundreds of calls a day, times, 10 people as an example, each person makes 200 calls a day. Talking about making 2,000 calls a day, right? Can all of these niches afford the service? Good question, Mike. We'll get to that in a second. So what I like to do is I like to make sure, once again, that that person that I'm calling, I want the probability to be as high as possible that their cell phone is going to be inside of their pocket. Because it means that they're going to answer. I don't need to get through a gatekeeper. I don't have to leave messages and drop them into a pipeline and call them back 50 times just to get them on the phone, right? Why would I want to go to battle and at war with somebody just to try to get them on the phone? That's like I haven't even pitched them yet, and I'm spending an hour just trying to get this guy on the phone, right? Does that make any sense, guys? Do you think that makes sense? Would it make sense for you to waste 100 phone calls on somebody who's probably not going to be there? Well, I didn't think it made sense, and it worked for us. So I'm going to show you guys what we did. We used to cold call these guys. These were actually our target demographics when we were doing our cold calling, right? Now, every industry, not every industry, every type of marketing to generate leads for your agency, style. And those styles will target different industries, right? So when you're cold calling, we would go after these types of people. When you're running maybe Facebook ads and you're trying to do lead gen on Facebook and get client acquisition on Facebook, you'll target different people, right? Because it's more of like an inbound style lead where you're getting the information and then you're calling them to set up an appointment and try to sell them, right? You don't have to go through the whole process of getting them on the phone, warming them up a little bit. That's what Facebook ads does for you. It does that for you, right? So for those of you guys who are going to do cold calling, which I recommend you do, right? Especially if you're on the beginner side and maybe you might not have money to run Facebook ads and spend that kind of budget on it. You can do this, okay? If you do have money to run Facebook ads, which is pretty much what we do a lot now, I would recommend doing this, but eventually you'd want to supplement it with incoming leads. I just think that incoming leads is a lot better because what people don't understand, and I think we've actually run like a cost analysis on this, and that's one of the reasons why there's nobody here in this room anymore, and we turned it into an actual video room, is your time to go out, and let's just maybe not say your time. Let's just say you had an employee, okay, because your time is priceless and it can be valued at anything, right? So let's say you had an employee, and that employee made 20 bucks an hour. Right, whatever, hour. That employee made 20 bucks an hour. But that employee works 8 hours a week. So now I got to multiply that by 8 hours a day, sorry. And then I'll multiply that by 5 days a week. Who wants to do the math for me? What does that equal? Who wants to be the mathematician? What is $20 an hour times 8 hours a day times 5 days a week? $800 bucks. That's expensive for a salesperson to spend cold calling all day, right? So think about this for a second. So instead of spending $800 a week, and what's 800 times 4? Times 4, let's go backwards here. Times 4, what does that equal? Who's going to do it? Who's going to be the smart one? 3,200. 3,200 bucks. 3,200 bucks for an employee to go out and do cold calls for you and hopefully try to close deals. Okay? That's expensive, guys, for a rep. Okay? And I'm going to teach you guys some secrets on how to bring all your costs down and how to do this really, really cheap. So don't worry, I'm going to get you excited in a little bit. But let's just go over the basics. We're just covering the foundation of you understanding from the business perspective as an agency owner what you should be doing, how you can do it, and how to actually deploy that shit and make a lot of money and still leave a lot of profits. If you want to hear maybe some of those things, can you drop a 55 in the chat for your boy? What happened? Good. Good. We got some Carlos just in the background telling me that we got some people who ordered their agency website. Congratulations. We'll get you dropped into this raffle here in a couple minutes. Stephanie's working on it. 55, right? So I'm going to bring you guys in my mind. And even though my mind is crazy and it's full of energies and I'm wacko, right? But I'm going to bring you guys in my mind so you can understand how I think when I'm running a business. $3,200 bucks. All right? Get out of this really quick. Let's get out of it really quick. I'm going to screenshot this. Come back to it. And let's go. Okay. 3,200. Stick with this number. 3,200 per sales rep. Okay, and most of you guys are like, man, 20 bucks an hour for a sales rep is crazy expensive. That's insane. You want to have like a really good sales rep that actually knows how to close deals? It's really not insane. Okay, and that's to do cold calling. Cold calling. That's how much it'll cost you. And then multiply that times however many reps that you want to get. Okay? Or you can just take $1,000 bucks, $1,000 bucks, and drop it into Facebook ads. Okay? And get these people. Actually, I don't even want to do a box. I want to do these. Get these people to call you. So you just reversed it. They went from you calling them, you spending money on getting somebody to call them and go through the process of warming them up, introducing them to your company, maybe sending them some like freebies of like, you know, ebooks or documents or whatever the case is, case studies, and then book a call, go through the presentation, or you just do this. And you can do it the reverse way, and you can get people to call you instead. Pretty good idea, right? If you think that this is a pretty cool idea, drop a 10 in the chat. If you could reverse engineer the cold call. If you could reverse engineer the cold call. So this is mainly what we're doing right now in our agency. We used to do the cold calling. We don't do it as much anymore because the cost is high. However, I'm not going to tell you not to do it because I'm going to give you secrets that I've done in the past 10 years that got me to lower my costs, okay? And on top of lowering my cost, I mean, we still made millions of dollars in sales. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. Do it. Shit, it works. It was profitable. We made a lot of money. And that's how really we skyrocketed our agency. I think it was from cold calling. And then Facebook was just one of those things where we saw where, you know, the cost to acquire a client was cheaper running Facebook ads and doing some other forms of marketing, okay? So this makes sense to you. You know, I don't want to go off topic here, but if this makes sense to you, you should think about running some Facebook ads. And if you want to run some Facebook ads, you can message me in the live chat and I'll help you out and tell you a little bit more about it. But this makes a little bit more sense, right? So let me ask you one quick question here. If I offered, I say, hey, give me $250 and I'm going to give you a client that's going to pay you $1,000 a month, would you do it? Yes or no? Drop it in the chat. If I gave you $250, if you gave me $250 and I gave you a client and said they're going to pay you $1,000 a month, would you do it? Yeah, of course you would do it. It's a no-brainer. So why are all of you scared to run Facebook ads or to do any paid advertising? Because the concept is the same. You run ads, okay? Even if it costs you, let's say, I don't know, even if it costs you $35 a lead, okay? Costs you $35 a lead. You get 5, let me open up a new doc here, okay? $35 a lead times 5 leads. How much is that? What's the math on that? Somebody help me out here. Those of you calculator guys, how much is that? How much is that? $35 a lead times 5. 35 times 5. 175. 175. 175. Thank you, Joseph. 175. Right? 175. It's $175 to get 5 leads, and if you close just 1 lead, then you pay $175 to get a client that can potentially pay you $1K a month. Okay? Facebook ads. Okay, let's get out of this. Let's go back to cold calling. Just dropping a little bit of knowledge on you. If I can get back to this page. If I can get back to this page. Temporary. Where am I? Where am I? Did we lose it? Did we lose it? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Right there. Oh. All right, guys, so we got industries. We got realtors, plumbers, pool maintenance guys, pest control, electricians, locksmiths, painters, roofers. Out of this list right here, I want you guys to pick one that is your favorite. Just go ahead and drop it in the chat. Out of this list right here, go ahead and pick one that is your favorite. Said realtors, realtors, realtors. Boy, we got a lot of realtors. Realtors. Did anybody have anything other than realtors? Realtors, realtors, electricians. Lawyers, plumbers. Zaid, lawyers is not on here. Out of this list. All right, I think we're all on the same page. Realtors it is. Okay? Let's go after realtors. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. You know what? Let me get out of this really quick.